Love man.
Eight seven seven 381 877-381-3811. In hour two, our guest will be Melania Trump. In hour three, our guest will be Senator Rick Scott of Florida. We'll get a rundown from him on what's taking place. We've not been able to reach Governor DeSantis, says he's very, very busy, obviously. So now the Hurricane Milton. Obviously, it could have been a lot worse, but for people who've lost family members or pets or homes, it was horrific. It's going to cost a lot of money. It's very interesting. These tornadoes on the east coast of Florida. I'll tell you what's interesting. Off the air, I would ask individuals, experts, now when this hurricane comes through on the west coast, the east coast, what happens there? And we didn't get much input. Didn't get much input at all. But I seem to remember from past hurricanes, things do happen on the other coast when a hurricane kind of not necessarily cuts all the way through, but starts working its way up the coast. Now, where our home is located, in Martin County, Florida, it turned out that there were a lot of little tornadoes. And same with Palm Beach County, just south of Martin County. Palm Beach Gardens, up near Stuart, Florida, in Martin County. I told you on the air last night that.
Why is this fucking cat out here? Get!
Across A1A and I-95, which goes north-south or south-north, however you look at it.
Fuck out of here.
Up the Florida coast. So far, they've been able to determine 10 people have died. 5 of whom died from tornadoes.
Fucking
I
cats.
expect that number will go up in terms of the total number of people. Florida's very lucky to have this Governor DeSantis, the team that he has. I mean, they're in there now. They're cleaning up. They're opening the major roads. He's got all kinds of programs, all kinds of personnel on the scene. It's quite remarkable. I think he approaches it, and I don't know this, as almost a military operation. And I think that's very wise. And I have to say, when you compare this to the way Hurricane Helene was treated, particularly in North Carolina, you can see the difference between leadership and non-leadership. Every hurricane's not the same. Every situation is not the same. The mountain communities or the rural communities in Western North Carolina, it's much harder to get to them. I do understand that. But I want to make something abundantly clear. Politics aside, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Secretary Mayorkas did not treat Hurricane Helene seriously enough, early enough. They did not focus on it. And that's why it was even a bigger disaster than it needed to be. That's why it was even a bigger disaster than it needed to be. And these personal attacks by Joe Biden, that Trump is un-American, get a life, by Kamala Harris and so forth. This is just intended to camouflage their own incompetence, and I might add laziness. It's not a coincidence. It's not a mistake. He was there in Rehoboth Beach. He knew this hurricane was coming, the first one, and she was out there raising more money. She's got over $1 billion now. Nobody's ever seen anything like it in Hollywood and LA and Las Vegas. Neither was necessary. She didn't attend a single pre-hurricane meeting. I've told you this over and over again because I want to get it out there. Some people are starting to understand this. And so when they say it is misinformation to point these things out, and when they say you're causing deaths to point these things out, and when they're saying you're causing people not to seek help when you point these things out, that is a lie. We have every right to criticize the government, and that includes this regime, when they fail the people of the United States. And that's exactly what they've done. Just like they've done on the border for 4 straight damn years. Of course it needs to be pointed out. Now more than ever, we have an election coming up. Oh, that playing politics. No. Now's the chance. You either change the government or you don't. She keeps talking about an opportunity economy. She keeps talking about turning the page. She keeps talking about the future. She keeps talking about joy. She's none of those things. None of those things matter to her. She's talking about herself, her future. She has absolutely nothing to offer this country. Nothing. And Biden has been a screw-up from the day he entered the Oval Office. A screw-up. With Afghanistan, with Russia and Ukraine, certainly with the Middle East and Israel, on the border, on the economy. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something you're not hearing today. Ready for this one? This is Associated Press. U.S. jobless claims at 258,000, the most in a year. Analysts point to Hurricane Helene and the Boeing strike. That's not it. Hurricane Helene just hit. That's not it. The Boeing strike? Well, we have strikes all the time. The fact of the matter is the economy is not recovering. The propaganda from the media in Washington and the Democrat Party, it's constant. It's constant. It's not reality. It's not what people feel. It's not what people know. U.S. jobless claims the most in a year. Got that? The most in a year. Then there's this that nobody's reporting. Inflation rises 2.4% in September, above expectations. Above expectations. Inflation is still here, and it's going to get worse. Jobless claims are up, the most in a year. The most in a year. And so you have core prices, gasoline, food, things that you need. They're continuing to go up. Your incomes and your salaries and your pensions are not keeping up because of inflation. And that's the truth. High inflation has created severe financial pressures for most U.S. households, which are forced to pay more for everyday necessities like food and rent. Price hikes are particularly devastating for lower-income Americans because they tend to spend more of their already stretched paycheck on necessities and therefore have less flexibility to save. So who is it? Why is it that $1 billion comes into the Kamala Harris campaign? Those aren't small donations. And the political action committees? Very wealthy people. What is it? I'm going to tell you what it is. Some people get extremely rich and even powerful as the government gets bigger and bigger and bigger and more centralized, like George Soros. George Soros just picked up 220 radio stations for a song. The FCC, the Democrats, they let him buy Audacity using over 25% foreign money. That sets off alarms at the FCC historically. There's a procedure in place that was put there for a reason to have a national security review of this investment. They bypassed that, they eliminated it, and they handed him his 220 radio stations. That's why George Soros is a leftist, because he's become a billionaire, a multi-billionaire, at a big government, centralized police state leftist. He's not a capitalist. He's not a capitalist. So a lot of billionaires, they don't make money off of capitalism, off of market economics, because they've developed things or invented things. It always strikes me, there's so many billionaires, and you ask them what they do, and they say, finances. What does that mean? I don't even know what that finances. You're so brilliant, you're advising people on how to invest. There's only so many ways to invest. But the Democrat Party is filled with what I call corporatists. These corporatists who live off of economic socialism, who live off of big government. They become the sugar daddies of the Democrat Party and the Democrat Party machine and the Democrat Party campaigns. That's what's going on. Kamala Harris does not have any capitalist, private sector, free market proposals. Still handing people $25,000, handing people $50,000, handing people student loan forgiveness. No. Economically, you'd be talking about tax cuts and regulatory cuts. She has no tax cuts or regulatory cuts on the table. She wants to nationalize healthcare. And if she's elected, that's exactly what they're going to push through. They want to destroy the Electoral College so they have all kinds of power. Why? Because there'll be campaigns. The campaigns will be in 11 blue states, mostly in the cities. None of us will have representation. That's why they want to eliminate the Electoral College, to destroy what is and what was a compromise at the beginning of this republic to make sure small states and large, heavily populated states and states not heavily populated, states that grow our food and find our oil aren't left out of the mix. So they want to destroy it. And they say, well, it's the popular vote. Don't you believe in the popular vote? No, not when it's mobocracy. Mobocracy. So they want to fix the system, and I don't mean reform it, fix it so they can never lose. They want to add Puerto Rico as a state and D.C. as a state. They're 4 Democrats. Fix the system so the Republicans can never win the Senate. They want to eliminate the filibuster. Why? So they can ram these things through just by having a one-time majority. Because you can't reverse these things. They want to destroy the independence of the Supreme Court, expand its numbers, and pack it with ideologues, turn it into a Politburo. They've already in many ways destroyed our voting system, and they want to destroy it even further. They want to eliminate what they call gerrymandering, which is a pejorative that's used for states. The Republicans control the state. They try and adjust every 10 years based on the census, the congressional districts. No. They want to do it in a way where they never lose. Where they never lose. These people are about power, and I see Elon Musk has picked up on something I've been saying and writing about for years. What's happening right now, and by the way, I'm glad. I want people to repeat these things. I want people to understand them and think about them. That's a good thing. They want to create a party monopoly in the Democrat Party. I've written about it. The Democrat Party hates America. I've written about it in American Marxism. I've talked about it for 20-some years here and elsewhere. They have the monopoly party. They have the monopoly party like they do in California. They have elections statewide, but they don't really matter. You can see it happening in places like Illinois and others. My point is the monopoly party wants power. They're power hungry. They want control. And the Democrat Party wants this power. And it wants this power to change America, to change the face of America, to change the culture of America, to change the economic system in America. And yes, go through the motions of voting, but have their mastermind, something they have dreamt about and written about for 120 years since the early progressives, the progeny of Marx, American Marxism. They want the so-called experts, the so-called masterminds to make the decision. Oh, we'll go through the voting system. Oh, yes, we'll go through it. But we'll make sure that only we win and that only we are empowered. We'll go through that system. Big deal. What I call the Potemkin voting system, meaning phony. Well, sure, we'll go through that system. The borders are wide open to reshape the electorate. That's a quote from the New York Times. It's something I've been saying for 20 years, and I've been attacked viciously. Oh, replacement theory. It's not a theory, it's reality. And AOC and Bernie Sanders said it. They don't realize they said it, but they said it. If we can beat Ted Cruz in Texas, we can turn Texas purple to blue. We'll control electoral politics for a generation. Actually, they'll control it forever. They know exactly what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is who they are. So these multi-billionaires who become multi-billionaires when the Democrats are in power. Look at Obama. He's worth $250 million. Look at Gore, as dumb as they come, worth $200 million. How? They're rewarded. They're rewarded by the oligarchs and the billionaires and the corporatists when they leave office. It's a klepto society, if you will, with the rich and the super rich and rich. Look, I don't mind people getting rich legitimately.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Big wireless carriers want to limit you to two choices when it comes to data, unlimited or unlimited. And guess what? Both are
WMAL traffic. I'm Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. They still haven't completely cleared out things from the vehicle fire westbound on I-66 in Marshall just before Route 17 from earlier today. And eastbound on 66, just inside the Beltway near Westmoreland Street, we got an accident blocking the left lane of back-in traffic up to Route 7 and Falls Church. Now, from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's the WMAL ABC 7 Storm Watch forecast.
Tonight, clear, low 42. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 68. Robin Hood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, 3 epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs. Margin balances are up. Brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Making sense of the headlines. It's an embarrassment of riches today with so many topics that we could talk about.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
This is legitimately news.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Something different for dinner. Searching restaurants near me.
Right here, ma'am. How can we help?
Gee, same old, same old.
Wait, we're right here, ma'am. Our restaurant's just a few blocks from you. Why is she not seeing us?
Back to the usual, I guess.
Ma'am, can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you because you're buried deep in the list of local restaurants. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
Making sense of your world. You can be a part of the conversation because that's what makes us different than all of the rest of the media.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Good morning, Larry.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. You're going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look at fast. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Making sense of the issues.
Every day.
Absolutely. There is one common denominator.
It's the common sense way to go.
Making sense of your world
Together.
Everything you're saying, you need to look at both sides of the spectrum. I completely agree.
Nothing about compromise. We're talking about common values.
One headline at a time.
People that have some values.
Oh, yeah.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Every time I film my baby kid, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will.
We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
No problem there. But one is a very, very important one. The Kamala Harris that's being presented to the American people isn't the real Kamala Harris. And I'm going to spend time on this, a lot of time, on my opening statement Saturday on Life, Liberty, and Levin. And we have two great guests, Ted Cruz and the former ambassador to Israel from the United States, David Friedman. So I hope you'll watch that. But I'm spending a lot of time on her. The real Kamala Harris, the person who is vicious and brutal and foul-mouthed to her staff and can't keep staff. The Kamala Harris, who is a radical leftist, and none of this flip-flop. I think Republicans have made a mistake saying it's flip-flopping. She's not flip-flopping. She's the real deal. She's not bright. That's why they hide her as much as they can. She can't complete her thoughts and can't complete her sentences. She's been climbing the ladder. She was a young lady, really doing almost anything she needed to be DA, Attorney General, Senator, Vice President, now President. These oligarchs, special interests, the Democrat ruling class, and some of the other Trumpers who've thrown in with them, they don't really care about the country. They want this party, Democrat Party, to be the vessel through which they operate, keep handing them more and more industries, and handing them more and more of their tax dollars.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-898-6155 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-898-6155 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-898-6155 to see if your car qualifies. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plans. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9.
News now. WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Search and rescue teams have been busy in Florida post-Hurricane Milton. Governor Ron DeSantis says at last count,
at least 340 individuals and 49 pets have been rescued.
The Coast Guard helicopter crew rescued a man today who was clinging to an open cooler in the Gulf of Mexico after his boat became disabled before the hurricane made landfall. The AP reporting at least 6 confirmed deaths. A teenage boy and girl are hospitalized after being shot this afternoon inside an apartment complex blocks away from Dunbar High School in D.C. 7 News reports the girl has non-life-threatening injuries, the boy more serious ones. Police don't yet have a motive or suspect. Traffic and weather next on WMAL. Robinhood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, 3 epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker dealer.
Cumulus Podcast Network presents the Believe family of podcasts covering the latest sports across all professional sports leagues and major college sports teams with current or former players hosting. Just search for BLEAV podcasts to find your favorite wherever you listen.
I don't have just Jack.
Making sense of your morning.
Lots of coverage here on that developing story.
O'Connor Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Larry O'Connor here getting you through your morning,
Making sense of Washington.
asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions.
Making sense of the double standard.
Then here's the latest example.
Making sense of the headlines.
So let me break it down for you because there's plenty to break down here.
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Cumulus Podcast Network presents Useful Idiots, an informed and irreverent podcast with journalist Aaron Mate and broadcast writer Katie Halper. Join Matt and Katie as they examine important news stories that have slipped through the cracks. Enjoy wherever you listen.
Clarity and context for a complex world.
To be far more thorough and specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
With belts tightening and many cutting back on spending.
Prices at the pump, prices at the grocery store.
Why not spend more time with us?
Everything else is moot if we do not address election integrity.
Because making sense of it all is always time well spent.
Now we're going to get audited by the IRS.
The people have to stand up and say enough.
This is why Americans are so frustrated, especially middle Americans.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world.
You know, there are millions of people that feel exactly as you feel, and honestly, right now, I'm one of them.
Chris Plant.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Thank you, Chris.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F. Face drooping. A. Arm weakness. S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
WMAL.
Big one.
The great one. Dial in now. 877-381-3811.
So Barack Obama is being called into campaign in Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, around Pittsburgh and so forth. They hope they can run the numbers up there. I would just ask the people in that part of our country, my state, Pennsylvania, don't you get sick and tired of these old politicians, quasi Hollywood type politicians dropping in and telling you who to vote for? What does Barack Obama have in common with anybody in Western Pennsylvania right now? Guy's got 5 homes. They're all mansions. He's made a fortune since he's left the presidency. And he just shows up. Shows up because he's just so cool. He's just so persuasive. And he'll go there and he'll attack Trump and he'll make jokes and he'll fill his ego and all the rest of it. Even think back to his presidency. What the hell did he do for the African American community? Literally nothing. And what did he do when it came to the hardworking men and women in fracking, in steel, in coal? He attacked you. He tried to put you out of business. That's what he did. I just want you to remember this. Barack Obama is enormously popular among the rich and the beautiful in Hollywood, on Martha's Vineyard, among the rich in Hyde Park area, That's it. He doesn't go back to communities that really need help. Doesn't go to Newark, New Jersey, or Camden, New Jersey, places I'm familiar with. He doesn't go to communities that really have it tough right now. Some presidents leave office and they really contribute in a big way to certain aspects of our society, things that interest them. Obama's not one of them. He's not one of them. Now, do you owe back taxes? Still haven't filed your tax returns? Did you forget to file an extension? Well, that October 15th deadline is coming fast. Maybe you say, well, I don't need that. I file on April 15th. That's coming fast too. And what you do today will affect your taxes tomorrow. But this October 15th is here. It's Wednesday, I believe. And once it hits, the IRS can garnish your wages, freeze your bank accounts, and even seize your property. And they will. 87,000 new IRS agents. Just for you. You need Tax Network USA right now to handle your IRS tax problems fast. Their attorneys, their strategists, expert negotiators employ brilliant strategies designed to solve your IRS problem quickly and in your favor. They have a preferred direct line to the IRS. They know which agents to talk to and which agents to avoid. Tax Network USA, that's the one, has already helped taxpayers save over $1 billion in tax debt. They can help you too. You need to act quickly. October 15th is days away. Tax Network USA, folks, that's the team I recommend solving your IRS issues so you can get your life back. Don't wait. Schedule your free confidential consultation now. You can call 1-800-780-8888. Don't be afraid. It's confidential and it's free. If you need to talk to them, talk to them. 1-800-780-8888. 1-800-780-8888. Or you can go to tnusa.com/Levin, Tax Network, that is, tnusa.com/Levin, tnusa.com/LEVIN. I encourage you to do that. I hope what I'm saying is resonating, is understandable. Sometimes, I wonder, but I just want to explain this. When you look at these various centralized governments, heavily centralized governments, people can say whatever they want. They're for the people, equity, equality. We've heard it all. But usually it is it's a curtain to hide their real motives and their real interests, which is power. These people are power hungry and they want to use the government to enrich themselves. Barack Obama has never invented anything. He's never produced anything. Now there's Michelle Obama. They're worth tens of millions of dollars. Al Gore's never invented anything. He's never created anything. He's never developed anything. He's worth tens of millions of dollars. And they've become this rich after they left office. They had power. If Al Gore hadn't been a vice president or a senator, he'd never be this wealthy. If Barack Obama, the community activist, if he hadn't been a senator and president, he'd never be this wealthy. They need government to get rich. Same with Biden. Biden would be probably a single attorney with a shingle hanging out handling divorce cases. I'm just guessing. But that's about it. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but he wouldn't be where he is today. So these people, first they seek power, then they seek wealth. And then they have power and wealth. And they reward their allies. Like George Soros was just awarded with 220 radio stations. They create solar energy. We need solar energy, but it just so happens that their buddies get extremely rich off of solar energy. And they destroy the competition. So we'll put the oil rigs out of business. We'll stop the fracking. What? Yes. So a big centralized government isn't about the little guy. It's not about we the people. It's not about economic competition. It's not about equality or equity or any of it. Castro. Castro lived like a multimillionaire while those people were starving to death. Mao. Mao had women, all the food he wanted. He got fat. He got sick. He lived like a billionaire while those people were suffering. Un, over in North Korea, like his dad and his grandfather. People are eating grass. They're eating bugs. They have no life. They have no hope. They have nothing. But he lives like a billionaire. Xi, communist China. Anything he wants, he gets. Everything he wants, he gets. They're not about the people. They're not Mahatma Gandhi. They're not anything like this. Putin, same thing. Obviously, different types of tyranny. Some are more aggressive and violent than others. But same in our country. Except for Donald Trump, he comes into office a billionaire. He didn't become a billionaire off of politics. He didn't become a billionaire because of some program that was created to help enrich him. He's a builder, a developer. He built an entire skyline. And of course, they attack him. He's a billionaire. You know, Kamala Harris, she came from a middle-class family. First of all, she didn't. She's a liar. Both her parents were tenured professors. She worked at McDonald's. She can't even prove it. And when you raise it, oh, yes, she did. Oh, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. Okay, where? When? But it doesn't matter. They pretend, they lie, that they're of the people, they're for the people, while they're screwing the people. Donald Trump came up with another proposal today. Deduct interest on your car loans. You should be able to deduct it like you do your mortgage interest. Now, even some of our conservative friends are saying, you know, that's ridiculous. I want to remind them that before Ronald Reagan and the massive tax cuts of August of 1981, which were fantastic, which grew the economy, really, by the time Reagan left, by 30%, the economy grew 30%. We used to be able to deduct all interest on credit cards, on car loans, vehicle loans. Same with mortgage interest and so forth and so on. You could deduct it all. You could deduct it all. But Reagan said, no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to just slash taxes. And he slashed it, to be honest, more than anybody in modern history. And Trump did too. He followed up with it. And he said, oh, look at that. Tax cuts for billionaires. Well, the Democrats use your money, your taxes, the debt to enrich their friends who in turn give them $1 billion to run for president. Like Harris. Like Harris. This is the ruling class. These are the special interests who really do not want you to have opportunity. Let's turn the page, says Kamala Harris. Well, if we turn the page, then we groom her because she's the vice president. If Kamala Harris cared about the little guy, the average working person, union, non-union, the middle class, then why is the border wide open? If she cared about your community, you ladies in the suburbs who are overwhelmed by her charisma and her smarts and all the rest of it, then why is there crime through the wazoo? She doesn't support the cops. She opposes the cops. You parents out there, you know, the first organization to come out and endorse Kamala Harris literally within hours after she was chosen as the Democrat Party nominee was the American Federation of Teachers, Randy Weingarten. Right out of the box. Randy Weingarten, a Marxist, who does not believe that you parents should have control over your children, over their decision-making, over what they read, over their bodies, or anything else. She is a hard-left Marxist radical. She and the NEA and the rest have been destroying the public schools. You want parental control? You want parental notification? You want parental involvement? Kamala Harris isn't going to do that. She rejects all that. And yet the women in the suburbs were told, obviously, if you listen to this show, I'm not talking about you, but the others. The women in the suburbs were told, abortion's the... She even lies about that. Let me try this one more time before the election. Roe v. Wade set up a trimester system, I'll call it. In the third trimester, states were free to regulate abortions, and they did, some more than others. Kamala Harris does not support that. When they talk about putting Roe back in place, she does not mean that. She believes in abortion right up to birth. Her running mate signed a law that repealed a law that required doctors to care for babies after botched abortions. He repealed it. He lied during the debate. Look it up. It's on the internet. Just look it up. The law is right there. And Kamala Harris supports that. The Democrat Party supports that. But they're running hundreds of millions of dollars in ads telling you all they want to do is get Roe v. Wade back. They even used an example of a woman who died from Georgia. They said because she couldn't get an abortion, she had to leave the state. That's not what happened. She took an abortion pill. It had a terrible effect. Complications took place. She went to the hospital. The doctors apparently, as I read the facts of this case, tried, but ineffectively, to save her life. It had nothing to do with abortion. It had to do with the abortion pill, but she keeps bringing it up. That's the best example they have. And they helped her ride that right into the White House. Ride that right into the White House. It's appalling. Well, I got to move on. I've got so much to cover. The upcoming election isn't just about choosing leaders, although it certainly is. It's about choosing what kind of country you want to live in. Donald Trump loves this country. He loves the citizens of this country. You can see he's a happy campaigner. You can see the ideas he comes up with. No taxes on tips. No taxes on Social Security. No taxes on interest on vehicles. He's thinking about the average person. He's thinking about people on pensions. He's thinking about blue-collar workers, white-collar workers, union, non-union. She's not. History shows that post-election periods can bring economic turmoil. This time with our national debt skyrocketing, the interest on the debt higher than the defense budget. Global tensions. We're facing unprecedented economic risks. We can see runaway inflation, and inflation is higher this past month in September than anticipated. You haven't heard that anywhere. Unemployment was higher in September than any other time during the year. You haven't heard that anywhere. And of course, inflation kills the currency. That's why I'm talking about diversification. That's why I'm talking about gold and financial safety. Gold has been said to be a reliable wealth shield for thousands of years through some of the worst economic storms. And for my gold investments, I trust Advantage Gold. I've dealt with others. They're the best. They're the ones I buy from. I recommend them to you. Call them now. They're available right now. Don't wait. 800-900-8000. 800-900-8000. Get your free gold investment kit to see how you can get started with gold. You can even qualify for up to $1,000 in free silver. But Mark, gold is so high right now. Yes, I understand that. And last year, this time, when people were telling me that, it rose 40% from last year to now, and it's going to go higher in my view. Why else would I buy it? That's 800-900-8000. Call them now. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. They'll be happy you did. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial tax professional. But again, the number, 800-900-8000. Ask them for their free gold investment kit. At least get that and take a look at it. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of the issues.
Every day.
Absolutely. There is one common denominator.
It's the common sense way to go.
Making sense of your world
Together.
With everything you're saying, I often disagree. You need to look at both sides of the spectrum. I completely agree. We're not talking about compromise. We're talking about common ground.
One headline at a time.
A few people that have some common sense. Exactly. That sounds like a
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic. I'm Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Let's go straight to I-66. We've got an inbound accident. It's got traffic jammed right at the Beltway. The crash itself is right between the Dulles Connector and Route 7. It's got the left lane blocked. You're also going to be slow southbound on 95 in Virginia. from Lorton Road down to the Occoquan and northbound from the Franconia Springfield Parkway to the Beltway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's the WMAL ABC 7 Stormwatch forecast.
Tonight, clear, low 42. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 68. Robin Hood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, free epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Making sense of your morning.
Lots of coverage here on that developing story.
O'Connor and Company.
Weekday mornings from 5 to 9.
Larry O'Connor here getting you through your morning,
Making sense of Washington.
asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions.
Making sense of the double standard.
Then here's the latest example.
Making sense of the headlines.
Let me break it down for you because there's plenty to break down here.
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Updating you on the stories happening while you work.
Apparently, Joe Biden was talking about artificial intelligence. He claims he saw an AI video of himself recently.
Vince Holidays.
Here he is at the White House.
Deepfakes use AI-generated audio and video to smear reputations, speak for spreads fake news, and commit fraud.
Oh my gosh. Can the AI video speak in complete sentences? That'd be an improvement over the real thing.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
Vince Holidays.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Sweet Deals has an offer that can't be beat. Get instant access to Microsoft Office Home plus Business for Windows or Mac for only $39.99. This is a lifetime license valued at $219 and 82% savings. Supply is limited, so don't delay. Get your sweet deal today at sweetdeals.com.
Folks, we're living in one of the most consequential periods in history, and that's not hyperbole. It's a fact. The Marxists and Islamists get their way, our freedoms will erode and erode fast. This includes your ability to access voices that the ruling elites find dangerous. Don't doubt for a second. They want to silence me and my colleagues at Blaze Media. But we're in this together. We must stand strong. I co-founded Blaze Media as a refuge where conservative voices can continue to be heard. Now more than ever, we need your support because the stakes are so very high. I've authorized the largest discount in Blaze Media's history. You ready for this? $40 off your first year of Blaze TV Plus with the code LEVIN40, LEVIN40. So go to LevinTV.com. That's LEVINTV.com and use code LEVIN40 to claim this unbelievable offer. It's quick and easy. Join us today with code LEVIN40 at LevinTV.com and help protect free speech and the First Amendment.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you. Making sense of the news.
WMAL, making sense of the economy because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Thanks to Melania Trump, but also something else. CBS News, what they did to Donald Trump by promoting Kamala Harris, not editing. They didn't edit what she said. They changed what she said. They changed what she said about Israel and how she said it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a red line that no media organization should cross. We've seen it throughout this campaign. ABC News, CNN. We've seen it now, CBS twice. And I want to go through this with you and take our time doing it. And I will have more information to add to this soon. What are you talking about, Mark? You'll know. You'll know when I get started. It seems like for the media, ladies and gentlemen, if you hate the country, and I mean hate it, you're not to be questioned, you're not to be challenged. They either hire you or they promote you. And if you hate Jews, and you hate the state of Israel, you're to be defended. You're not to be touched. That's right. CBS was founded by William Pell, a brilliant man, businessman, who truly believed in free speech. He was in Philadelphia. His first station was WCAU, now WPHT, which is now owned, believe it or not, by George Soros, as they seek to purify the airwaves of conservative talk. Well, CBS News is a far cry from the days of William Pelly, who created these various radio stations, television stations, and a television network. This is not as left-wing as he was, Walter Cronkite, but he was a professional. Edward R. Murrow, names many of you probably never heard of before. What's taking place here is unbelievable. You have a host who's Jewish, whose family lives in Israel, and questions the guest in his book, which is a bigoted, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel book. In a very fair, classy discussion, they punish the reporter, the host. They want to put him through re-education. I want you to listen to some of this, but I want you to listen to something that I just received. You'll see what I mean. Stick with us. I'll be right back.
A sense of your world.
Talk radio is where I get all of my information.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Robin Hood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, 3 epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Cumulus Podcast Network presents the Believe family of podcasts covering the latest sports across all professional sports leagues and major college sports teams, with current or former players hosting. Just search for BLEAV Podcasts to find your favorite wherever you listen. Making sense of social media.
There's no end to the ways you can undermine our culture.
Mark Levin.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Let's talk about that.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of the issues.
Every day.
Absolutely.
There is one common denominator.
It's common sense way to go.
Making sense of your world
Together.
I agree with everything you're saying. I often disagree. You need to look at both sides of the spectrum. I completely agree. We're not talking about compromise. We're talking about common ground here.
One headline
at a time.
at a time.
The few people that have some common sense. Exactly. It sounds like a
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9.
News now. WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. National Hurricane Center says all tropical and storm surge warnings from Milton have just been discontinued, but there's still a risk of flooding through the evening. President Biden says Floridians shouldn't let their guards down.
There's still very dangerous conditions in the state, and people should wait to be given an all clear by the leaders before they go out. We know from previous hurricanes that it's often the case the more lives that are lost to days following the storm than actually during the storm itself.
The Associated Press reports there were at least 6 confirmed deaths from Milton, including a woman in her 70s whose body was found underneath a large tree branch. Tampa police think she died after the storm passed. Virginia is sending hundreds of National Guard members and aquatic rescue teams to Florida in the aftermath of Milton, even as both states recover from Hurricane Helene.
Being prepared matters, and they had a really great preparation for Helene, and I know their folks are tired, and that's why it's so important that we respond to help them now.
Governor Glenn Youngkin.
I spoke to Governor Santos earlier this week and said, you tell us what you need, and we'll get it to you.
Youngkin adds it's each governor's job to use state resources when disasters hit.
Our National Guard's capabilities, use our state police, our Department of Forestry, and our VDOTs. That's what governors do.
Telling Fox News.
FEMA comes in afterwards, and our experience in Virginia has been really good.
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Members of Maryland's Task Force One's urban search and rescue team have been helping out since Helene, and they're still on the move.
We have been in Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina. We also have a second team that is down in Georgia as we speak, and they're making their way to Florida.
Montgomery County Fire Chief Corey Smedley's Fire and Rescue is the host agency for the task force, along with members from D.C. and other nearby counties. Suffice to say, Mother Nature's kept them busy with one crew in Georgia and in Asheville, North Carolina since September 25th. Doc Curlin was a part.
Laying down hundreds of miles of tracks so people would understand what was searched and what still needed to be searched.
Chief Smedley added his county was never short personnel as others in the area stepped up. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The candidates in Maryland's pivotal Senate race had their first and only debate today. It was pre-taped and will air tonight. Democrat Angela Alsobrooks wasted no time getting to an issue that could cost Republican Larry Hogan some votes from Democrats who helped get him in the governor's mansion. Alsobrooks said, quote, the Republican Party has declared a war on women's reproductive freedoms. Hogan said he's in favor of restoring Roe v. Wade, but Alsobrooks pointed out his 2022 veto of legislation that would have allowed more medical professionals, including nurse practitioners, to perform abortions. The veto is overridden, but it tied up money that would have trained more clinicians. Hogan says everyone in Maryland knows he protected abortion during his time as governor. A 3-vehicle crash involving a school bus and postal vehicle happened at Inslee Street and Pliers Mill Road in Wheaton around 3:45 this afternoon. Montgomery County Fire says there were several students on the bus, but no serious injuries from the crash. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Robin Hood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, 3 epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer. Go beyond self-care and listen to audiobooks for a better brain, mind, and body. Follow the dramatic journeys of a diverse group of Americans who've struggled with their mental health and addictions in Profiles in Mental Health Courage by Patrick J. Kennedy and Stephen Freed. And discover the counterintuitive secrets to happiness in New Happy by Stephanie Harrison, a practical guide to help us all learn how to live a happy life. Listen now. Available everywhere audiobooks are sold.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for the power, performance, and reliability of a new Super Start battery. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Auto Parts. At Nutrafol, we don't just help your hair, we help your body grow it. Because it's never just about your hair. It can be your job or your deodorant or your lunch or just normal life. That's why our whole body approach targets the key root causes of hair thinning. Discover your root causes and why we're the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. These statements have not been approved by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Nutraceutical Wellness, Inc.
Here's Ed Rodriguez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Tyson's Corner, the inner loop of the Beltway's jammed from Route 7 to the Clara Barton Parkway. Then it's stop and go just before Old Georgetown Road over to New Hampshire Avenue. You're also going to find outer loop delays. Now from Annapolis Road up to Kenilworth, we've got stop and go traffic again from I-66 down to Little River Turnpike, and then from the Springfield interchange to the Wilson Bridge. Now, from Garage Door Repair.com, here's the WMAL ABC 7 Storm Watch forecast.
Another very beautiful day with mainly clear skies, lots of sunshine. You're comfortable this evening. Temperatures will drop from the 60s to the 50s and mainly clear overnight. With temperatures 37 to 46 degrees, we've got freeze and frost and bifreeze up in our far northwestern suburbs until 9 a.m. The high Friday, 70 under sunshine. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 58 degrees in Falls Church, 57 in Silver Spring, and here in Washington, 62. I'm Heather Curtis on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
On News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Mark Levin.
Also, the hidden bunker somewhere under the brick and steel or nondescript building. We've once again made contact with our leader. Levin.
Let's get started. Tony Gopal has been a host at CBS. He is the Jewish religion. I believe he has some family that lives in Israel. Tanishi Coates is on my view, this guy is a race hustler. That's my view. But he's been given all kinds of accolades by all kinds of people and so forth and so on. So they're on CBS Morning last week, and I saw this actually. He's written a book on, among other things, the solution in Israel, and it is very hostile to the state of Israel, that Israel's apartheid. His father's a Marxist, by the way. There's a lot of that going around, right? Right, Kamala? But I want you to listen to this back and forth. Cut 13, go.
Tanahashi, I want to dive into the Israel-Palestine section of the book. It's the largest section of the book. And I have to say, when I read the book, I imagine if I took your name out of it, took away the awards and the acclaim, took the cover off the book, the publishing house goes away, the content of that section would not be out of place in the backpack of an extremist. And so then I found myself wondering, why does Tanahashi Coates, who I've known for a long time, read his work for a long time, very talented, smart guy, leave out so much? Why leave out that Israel is surrounded by countries that want to eliminate it? Why leave out that Israel deals with terror groups that want to eliminate it? Why not detail anything of the first and the second intifada, the cafe bombings, the bus bombings, the little kids blown to bits? And is it because you just don't believe that Israel in any condition has a right to exist?
Well, I would say the perspective that you just outlined, there is no shortage of that perspective in American media. That's the first thing I would say. I am most concerned always with those who don't have a voice, with those who don't have the ability to talk. I've asked repeatedly in my interviews whether there is a single network, mainstream organization in America with a Palestinian American bureau chief or correspondent who actually has a voice to articulate their part of the world. I've been a reporter for 20 years. The reporters of those who believe more sympathetically about Israel and its right to exist don't have a problem getting their voice out. But what I saw in Palestine, what I saw on the West Bank, what I saw in Haifa in Israel, what I saw in the South Hebron Hills, those were the stories that I have not heard.
Well, I don't know what you're listening to. I can point you to reading the New York Times. I can point you to listening to CNN and certainly MSNBC. I can point you to a lot of their hosts and a lot of it. There's a reason why the whole world is against Israel. There's a reason why the Palestinians are subsidized by the entire world. And of course, not a nary a word about the Palestinians themselves. But let's go on. Cut 14, go.
But if you were to read this book, you would be left wondering, why does any of Israel exist? What a horrific place, committing horrific acts on a daily basis. So I think the question is central and key. If Israel has a right to exist, and if your answer is no, then I guess the question becomes, why do the Palestinians have a right to exist? Why do 20 different Muslim countries have a right?
My answer is that no country in this world establishes its ability to exist through rights. Countries establish their ability to exist through force, as America did. And so I think this question of right to Israel does exist. It's a fact. The question of its right is not a question that I would be faced with any other country.
when you write a book that delegitimizes the pillars of Israel, it seems like an effort to topple the whole building of it. So I come back to the question, and it's what I struggle with throughout this book. What is it that so particularly offends you about the existence of a Jewish state that is a Jewish safe place and not any of the other states out there?
There's nothing that offends me about a Jewish state. I'm offended by the idea of states built on ethnocracy, no matter where they are.
Muslim included.
I would not want a state where any group of people lay down their citizenship rights based on ethnicity. The country of Israel is a state in which half the population exists on one tier of citizenship, and everybody else that's ruled by Israelis exists on another tier, including Palestinian Israeli citizens. The only people that exist on that first tier are Israeli Jews. Why do we support that? Why is that okay?
Now, that's a lie. Tell me, the Jews, what kind of level are they on in the Gaza Strip? There are none. How about the Jews in Iran? How about the Jews in Iraq? How about the Jews in Saudi Arabia? How about the Jews in Egypt? How about the Jews in Jordan? How about the Jews anywhere? And the Christians, for that matter. They've either been wiped out or pushed out of their homes and country years and years and years ago. The ones that exist under horrific conditions. This guy is a bigot. He's a bigot. He attacks democracies. That's what he does. I want you to listen to Cut 22 because he does another interview and he really exposes himself in a big way. And by the way, I'm doing this for a reason, as you'll see in a moment. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
And I haven't said this out loud, but I think about it a lot. All
right, let me stop.
20 years old.
He's talking about October 7th. What happened on October 7th? Go from the top. Go ahead.
And I haven't said this out loud, but I think about it a lot. 20 years old, born into Gaza, which is a giant open-air jail. And what I mean by that is if my father is a fisherman and he goes too far out into the sea, he might get shot by somebody off of, side of Israeli boats. If my mother picks the olive trees and she gets too close to the wall, she might be shot. If my little sister has, cancer and she needs treatment because there are no, facilities to do that in Gaza, and I don't get the right.
Hold on, folks. This guy. There are hospitals in that part of Israel that take in Palestinians by the hundreds and over the course of the years by the thousands. By the thousands. I have visited those hospitals. One in particular. They don't ask about the background, the ethnicity, or anything of the people who come through that door. Of course, he doesn't talk about how these Palestinians are raised in their schools. He doesn't talk about their mission statements, Hamas, Hezbollah, the rest of them. He doesn't talk about the fact that these terrorist organizations kill more Muslims than anybody else. He doesn't get into any of that. But keep listening. Go.
And I grow up under that oppression and that poverty, and the wall comes down. Am I also strong enough or even constructed in such a way where I say, this is too far? I don't know that I am.
Got that? He doesn't know that he wouldn't have participated. He doesn't know. Over at the Free Press, which I don't cite much because, quite frankly, they don't cite much or encourage the work that we do here very much. Even though I admire Barry Weiss, it took her a while to come around and understand what the New York Times is when she was personally abused by them, in my view. But it's something we've known here for a very, very long time. If you study the history of the New York Times, its conduct during the Holocaust, you would never have even bothered being employed there. That's just my opinion. And she writes with Oliver Weissman, on Monday, we reported the CBS Mornings co-star, Tony DeCaprio, was admonished by senior executives for failing to meet CBS editorial standards in that interview with Tanisha Coates about his new book, The Message, which features a one-sided anti-Israel polemic. We also published a recording of the part of that October 7 meeting in which CBS bigwigs hung DeCaprio, their employee, out to dry. The reporting was picked up everywhere. Even the New York Times had to acknowledge the scoop, and 2 days later, it's still not clear what DeCaprio did wrong, other than ask tough but substantive questions. In our world, we call that journalism. But the fallout over the sin of his questions continued on Tuesday morning during a meeting for the morning show staff. Originally, CBS News had invited a self-described mental health expert, DEI strategist, and trauma trainer named Dr. Donald Grant to moderate a conversation on the issue in an all-staff meeting on Tuesday. That plan was scrapped after old social media posts by Dr. Grant surfaced, including one where he referred to South Carolina Senator Tim Scott as an Uncle Tom, and another of him describing a possible second Trump term as magicide. And it goes on. Meanwhile, Coates himself spoke about the controversy for the first time on Tuesday. In a trailer for an appearance on the Trevor Noah podcast, he accused Dr. Bill of commandeering the interview. I don't think he did Nate and Gail a service, and I'm really, really sorry for them, he said. And then he said what he said that I just played for you. William Paley is rolling in his grave, I can promise you that. CBS News has thrown in with the Jew haters and the anti-Semites. CBS News is actively involved in trying to interfere with and sabotage the Trump campaign. It did it with its phony moderators. It's doing it right now. And CBS News isn't alone. It's a cabal of corporate media that have abandoned professional journalism and the First Amendment for government-run Democrat Party propaganda. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Robinhood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, free epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
New wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today, and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but after being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
The Jim Jackson Show isn't just another NBA podcast. Of course, I'll break down everything about the league that I played in for 14 years and now cover as a broadcaster. There will be plenty of interviews with the biggest players, personalities, and insiders in the NBA. I say there's more to life than ball. That's why on this podcast, I'm going to delve into other passions, maybe business and maybe travel. I love lifestyle. The Jim Jackson Show, wherever you listen.
Thank you to WMAL, to you, Vince. I can get my news with adult commentary from you.
Vince Colonnese.
Weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
BBS is giving me money-making moves in the
Oh,
room.
yeah.
So I'm going to have one kid who's like, I want to just live in a box and do like artistic dancing and paint. Ocean's going to be like, it doesn't matter if I'm broke, Mom. I'm passionate about it. And Baby S is going to be the one that says passion doesn't pay bills, Ocean.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Green lights. Hey, girl. School zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah. Street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Folks, we may be standing on the precipice of a post-election economic meltdown. Any election can send shockwaves through our financial system, but this time, the stakes could be higher than ever. Reckless spending, mounting debt, misguided policies has set the stage for potential economic disaster. We can see rapid inflation or even attempts to undermine our currency. That's why I've always relied on diversification and gold for protection. It's been said to be a timeless safeguard against economic chaos. And in these uncertain times, it's more crucial than ever. When it comes to gold, I trust Advantage Gold exclusively. They're one of the top gold companies in America, and they're who I turn to for my own investments. Call 800-900-8000 right now for a free gold investment kit to see how gold can help protect you from post-election chaos. You might even qualify for $1,000 in free silver. That's 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news.
First thing each morning, O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
Welcome back, America. It is a great honor, really, to have Melania Trump with us. I consider her a good friend. My wife is very jealous, Julie. She loves Melania. Melania, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you. Good evening, Mark. I'm well. Thank you. How are you?
I am lovely. Because here I am with you, national radio, millions of people listening. This is a fantastic book. It's called Melania. I like it. Just the title and the cover. You can get it at Amazon.com. You can get it at MelaniaTrump.com. Melania Trump. Let's start at the beginning a little bit. You were very, very, very close to your mother. By the way, this is all in the book. I'm just hitting parts of it. And she passed away recently, close to your father. Tell us about your parents. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing in Slovenia and so forth.
Yes, my mother passed away in January, and we miss her tremendously. She's with us in our souls and with us all the time. She was a very special woman. And I grew up in Slovenia, in a small town, with a sister as a sibling for my mother, my father, my sister, and me, and had a beautiful childhood. I grew up under communism, and as a child, as a baby girl, I didn't have any knowledge about I grew up under communism. It was a beautiful childhood. My mother and father provided me with everything what I needed at that time. So we were thriving, and I was successful in the school and started my modeling at 6 years old, actually, because my mother was in fashion industry. She was working for the company. And she introduced me to the fashion world. And later on, when I was a teenager, the photographer discovered me. And that's how I continue into the modeling industry later on. But I still was studying. I studied industrial design as a teenager and fashion design, and later went to study architecture. And I paused the study so I could go on for achieving my dreams.
It's important. People should know you're very well educated. You studied. You were very successful. You became really a supermodel. And then you came to the United States. Explain how that happened.
I modeled in Milan and Paris. And while I was in Milan, I met agent from New York City that was the co-owner of the agency here in New York City. And he saw me and he invited me to come to New York and to model here. So I arrived in September or end of August in 1996. So it was a very exciting time for me. But also, there's some challenges. You come to New York alone as a young woman, and you don't know anyone, and you need to be on your own 2 feet and to have self-motivation and self-reliance and be very very smart and very careful as well, because the fashion world it's a tough world. It can be very mean and cutthroat. And here we are now in 2024.
Mm-hmm. And you're in New York, and really a self-made young lady, and you're doing extraordinarily well. A little time later, a few years later, you are invited to a friend's party. You go to this party, and you meet somebody named Donald Trump. Tell us, that was 1998. Tell us a little bit about that.
It was 1998 in September. We met at the fashion party, and we have a great connection. Since then, we started dating, and we had a long courtship. We got married in 2005. We had a beautiful life. We enjoyed each other's company, and we really enjoyed and traveled. And I was still working that time as a model, and he was working, being busy. As you know, he loves to work. He loves to give back to this country. He loves this country. And we were just enjoying life and being very productive.
Mm-hmm. And obviously it's not all the time, but my wife and I have been with you and him, and I just want the nation to know, I can see the way you two look at each other. He relies on your advice. He listens carefully when you speak, particularly about important issues. You have that influence on it. That doesn't mean he's not his own man, but he wants to hear what his wife has to say. He has enormous respect for you. You can tell that, right? Because I can tell it just by sitting there and watching.
We respect each other's output, how we think. We are both individuals, and he respects my advice, and he asks me about it, what I think about, or sometimes I tell him what I think about. And it's not always that he will agree or he will listen, but that is his choice. As I always say, we are all adults. We will do what we feel and what we think is right. But I always express my thoughts and what I feel, so that he hears from me directly. And I'm very honest with him. I'm not a yes person. And I tell him the truth. And, sometimes it's hard to hear, because people sometimes around him or around me, they prefer to say yes, then they would say no. So I'm very honest with him.
Mm-hmm. And you got to have a partner like that, because it serves you both well. I mean, there's enough yes men and yes women. I don't count myself as yes man. I hope it doesn't view me that way. But you get my point. That is.
I do.
Yeah. Now, I noticed something else. You're both deeply in love with each other. I can see that. The respect you have for each other, the way you look at each other, and so forth and so on. When he goes through these things, when they call him names, when they try and create a fictional...
Wow, JC using one of my words for chat. Belly aching.
Wow, they say the most awful things about him that they've never said about any politician before. When we come back, Melania, you talk about all these things. I'm going to dig in on that a little bit. The book is Melania. Folks, I want you to get this. You're going to love this book. MelaniaTrump.com, or go to Amazon.com. It'll show up at your table tomorrow. Grab your copy. We'll be right back. Well, it's back to busy schedules, school, work, more. Well, don't let car trouble add stress to your day. Before you start putting miles on your car this fall, call CarShield. CarShield provides plans for new cars, high mileage vehicles, or vehicles with expired manufacturer warranties. Broken AC can cost you up to $3,000. A broken water pump, maybe $1,400. Are you prepared to pay out of pocket for repairs in this economy? Well, most people don't have that kind of cash lying around. CarShield doesn't just offer affordable repairs, they also help provide jobs for 1,300 Americans. They're here 24/7. Call CarShield today for your free quote and 20% off. 800-898-6155. Choose CarShield to help keep you and your family safe on the road this fall. Get your free quote at carshield.com/Levin or call 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
In Montgomery County, on the inner loop of the Beltway, it's jammed up in Bethesda between Rockville Pike and the 95 interchange. College Park inner loop is slow from Route 1 to Kenilworth Avenue. In Prince George's County, on the inner loop of the Beltway, it's slow in Landover between the Medical Center Drive exit and Ritchie Marlborough Road. On the outer loop of the Beltway heads up, there's a crash in Lanham between 450 and the BW Parkway, and on the BW Parkway northbound, it's stop and go between 202 and 197. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear, low 42. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 68. Robin Hood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, 3 epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
We're the stronger than we look type. I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2. The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing.
No more complications.
Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type none. Join us now at jdrf.org.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
I thought I can just keep spending money, however, to get back of the envelope math if I just cover it by making more money. The 3 words that make me
And I didn't know what really happened. Is he okay? Is he not?
Yeah, I'm listening to Levin.
But when he stood up and he
interviewing Melania
said,
Trump.
Fight. I know he's okay, but you still have a question mark. You know, where did the bullet go? What did happen? So I talked to him after a while. First, I called Secret Service, and they didn't answer because they were with him. And after I called again, and Secret Service answered, and they said we are on the way to the hospital. And I talked to my husband, and he said I'm okay. But you know, you never know till you really see him. And he was home middle of the night, around 2:30 in the morning. We were Baron and I. We were both waiting for him, and he came home, and we were so glad to see him alive.
You never get over that, do you? And then you worry about every time he goes out, don't you? Yeah.
Of course you worry. Of course you worry. And you never know what kind of phone call you will receive. And, you know, it's a not part of the job, but when you go in that kind of position, you could always, you know, that stuff can happen. But you never think that it will, right?
Yeah, I know. And let me just say this. It is such an honor and pleasure for my wife and I to know you and your husband.
Charlie.
I really enjoy you folks. And
they're trying to get me to quit doing this.
Successful. You can be returned as our
what do you
first
think?
lady. And I want you and
think I should fucking keep fighting or what?
You'll learn about Melania Trump. She's a
hey, later on, I'll fucking open another channel just in case.
MelaniaTrump.com. You can go to our Amazon.com, get a copy of the book.
Getting better at it, Charlie. These fuckers want to fuck with me, so I'm gonna fuck with them back.
Thank you so much, Madam First Lady.
Charlie.
Thank you, and thank you all of the listeners.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. That's it.
All right, folks.
Where's Puff Girl and what's his fucking face there, Bud? They were the first two here. Puff Girl was the first one in here, ever who that is. One of Chitch's, the fucking acid trip fucking team there.
Beautiful. Again, the book is Melania. You can go to MelaniaTrump.com.
VB, where are you, VB? VB, I'm calling you out tonight, VB.
We'll be right back.
VB, find my channel and come on up and talk to me.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
VB, I want to talk to you if you don't mind. Seeing that we've known each other for a long time, I think I have a right to talk to you, maybe. You know, I'm civil. Now, this is where it truly is one-on-one on my fucking panel. That's what it's going to be, one-on-one. There ain't going to be no fucking ganging up on people. So, Rusty, you got something to say, you fucking come on up. I'll let you up. I'll let you speak.
Like any normal playful puppy, but after
Rusty.
become a canine companions for independent assistance dog.
Wolfie, you better check yourself, my friend. I hope you do. Because Rusty's a fucking idiot. And you're supporting that idiot. As you can tell, I'm not like them motherfuckers.
You can make a world of difference in the person with a disability.
They can't take me down, Charlie. You fucking kidding me? They couldn't take me down before I was streaming. They couldn't. Wiggin had no fucking the only hope Wiggin had is if I just didn't go to his chat. And you know what happened. Been 2-3 times. He fucking accused me of something, and I said, fuck you. I ain't kissing his fucking ring. I'll fucking snap that ring off your finger and shove it up your ass, Wiggin. I could do it. Trust me.
As far as I'm concerned, that's Henry McKinnon. You'll be played by the Diamond Championship and buttery smooth action that makes it doesn't shoot. Mine were accurate.
I had to do some research, learn how to operate some of this stuff. I was going to wait before I went live. I can fucking come and go as I want now. You can't do shit.
Henry's are back with a lifetime warranty for 100% satisfaction. They're made in America, and it won't be made at all. And if you have questions, you can call the Reward Unit Customer Service Department to speak to an expert who can help you.
Charlie, don't come in here speaking up for I don't want to hear a bunch of Charlie. Charlie, please. All right, please. Worry about yourself, Charlie. All right. I'm not begging anybody to like me, Charlie. Seriously. Not doing it. We're fucking grown people. We're adults. Well, we're supposed to be. I don't care who's fucking who. I'm sick of Rusty. You guys can have it. All right. It's not my problem. Rusty gets mad. I don't want to be friends with her. Because she wants me to kiss her ass to be her friend like all them motherfuckers. And I'm not doing it. No. She made that fucking video and I was being nice to her. Because she just doesn't like me and she's very spiteful. So, Wolfie, people are going to judge you by those who you surround yourself with. That's all there is to it. Wolf.
Both a reference to God as the author of the laws of nature and a confident assertion that human beings are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Far from being hostile or indifferent to religion.
Yeah, Wayne needs to fucking come up here and talk to me. I don't want anybody coming in and speaking up for Wigan or anybody.
Visit constitutionminute.com.
That fucking JC turned me in. She finally turned me in. She can't fucking take it.
Thank you very much for covering this topic.
Now, JC, there you go. I can't support your chat now. I've done a lot of supporting in your fucking chat, JC. There ain't nobody you got more material on than fucking Billy Hayden. And look what you guys did to ODV. I wish he'd show up.
Well, that can help reveal your body's biological age. And nutrition has been shown to help.
Well, that fucking daughter of truth went off with ODV. Oh, he's touching kids. Oh.
Rickhouse Nutrition's Field of Greens is an organic superfood, fruit and vegetable drink, unlike any other. It's serious nutrition, folks. You see a lot of this stuff on TV. This is the real.
Now, think about what you posted there, Charlie.
Greens was approved for a university.
Wigan never liked me, Charlie.
They lower your body's biological age. Now, that generally means better health.
He fucking turned on me in every fucking corner.
In Brickhouse Nutrition's Field of Greens,
motherfucker didn't do me any favors. And he wants to say that he made me famous.
Functions like heart, liver,
you fucking kidding me? Now I got JT thinking I owe him an apology.
Better health promise.
Now fuck you, JT. The young fucker. Who the fuck are you, JT? Like fuck. Fucking inexperienced. That's what you are, JT. You have anything in here without fucking Rusty and Gotti coming with you. You have no idea, fucking JT. I knew Gotti long before you. Unless you guys did know each other and you're lying to me. So you can't have it both ways. So either you didn't know Gotti 7 years ago like I did.
I resisted these
or you did.
For years and years and years.
And I noticed the date on your account there, JT, is what, like 2014 or some shit like that.
And of course, the Democrats want them to run America.
So to say you're new around here is bullshit.
That's right. Low-cut.
That's what I think. It's what I know.
And during a recorded class, not that long ago.
So yeah, anybody associated with Rusty, you're not getting by me. It ain't gonna happen because she's a dumb fuck. Same thing with you, JC. JC, I gave you fucking. That was your last chance, JC. I'm done with you, bitch. I know who every fucking single one of your people are too, JC.
Look for them and destroy our country. Like Professor Phil Lowcock. Cut 16, go.
Guys are smarter than girls. You got some serious problems.
Well, Charlie, anybody that supports me, I may not know who they are. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of people out there they don't want They don't want to let themselves know, and they've helped me out somehow. So Charlie, you know how it is. The way the world works. JC's too chicken shit to come up here. I go up on her panel, I fucking face every motherfucker she put up there against me.
Personally, Ramble's like a buffoon, and all I like became a professor.
Keep running your mouth, Monica.
So now, if you oppose Kamala Harris,
seriously, you and that fucking ignorant husband of yours, Donnie. I'm not forgetting the time I come there and you gave me a wrench and all that shit, and Kelly was being nice to me, and then Coffee Man, like I like he's my boss or something. You guys are fucked up in the head. That fucking guy is a felon. Duh, Billy, did you wake up on your sister this morning? Duh. Duh, Billy, I'm Coffee Man. Duh, I'm not very smart.
Is when I was shaking the first time I met Margaret Thatcher when she was Prime Minister of Britain. She's one of my great heroes.
Yeah, you know, I hopefully I pray that people do the right thing.
He's a Marxist Islamist.
Since I have to.
Absolutely an idiot. And he's a pathological. So to me, that is a very bad mix.
Getting old.
Very bad mix. That doesn't mean you don't like women. But look at this guy. Look, he better not be on the record. He even knows he's being recorded. You could line all those guys up. And
Gotti Wiggin was right. He was telling me something I already knew. Most of the time, that's the deal. All right? Because you didn't come around. I sat here, and you might pop in once.
They won't talk about left-wing riots. They won't want to talk about the anti-Semitism, the river to the sea.
Did I forget something?
Islamists chasing Jews, beating up Jews, and not just Jews, but other people too. They don't want to talk about the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
And how it not only tolerates violence, but its prosecutors and its policies.
All right.
It promotes. That's the party of violence.
And don't bring them here.
Forward. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'll probably be here. Good, you can take me and go get some birdseed. I didn't get that.
Making sense of the news.
Fucking my age is catching up to me. I'm live right now on my new channel. So I don't know if you know which one to go to. I think you can either search William Hayden or just type in Billy Hayden USA. So I'm listening to the radio, and there are a couple people. Oh yeah. Yeah, you get up high, you can see them. Yeah.
Whatever is going on in the day, I want to hear what
Oh, all right. Oh, I'm on live broadcast. Everybody's watching me. Talk to you on the phone. So I'll talk to you later. All right. Yeah, I'm live. You can come in if you want. I'm not putting no link down for panel yet. I ain't offering that yet. I'm offering the chat. Nobody has a copy of my link. They can't. I can walk away from my camera right now and nobody can come backstage because I haven't posted the link. So I'm gonna outsmart these motherfuckers, Scott. I already have. So, all right. I'll be looking forward to you guys stopping down tomorrow. But she got to work or what? Oh. All right. All right. I'll see you later.
Toys and other loose or soft items. It reduces the risk of SIDS. SIDS? You know, sudden infant death syndrome. Yes, I need to start studying up on safe sleep for little man here. Being his favorite uncle comes with big responsibilities.
For more information, visit safetosleep.nicehd.nih.gov. Sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Schreiber National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. Making sense of Washington.
I'll be the one to speak the truth on this. Mark Levin, days 6 to 9 p.m. We're living in crazy land.
Well,
.9
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.
You guys are pathetic. You really are. You fucking hackers and all that. You guys are pathetic. Lazy sons of bitches.
West coast of Florida last night is a Category 3 storm. At least 6 of those.
My nephew interrupted me.
Made landfall. Anna Maria Island, one of the hardest hit areas. Mayor Dan Murphy says it's still recovering from Hurricane Helene 2 weeks ago.
The issue that we have on the ground right now is the fact that there is virtually no power, no water, no sewer service. I have put a checkpoint at the entrance to the city to really not allow anyone back in except the emergency workers.
Earlier, Governor Ron DeSantis said crews are making progress with power restoration. One person is dead. 12 people are trapped after an elevator malfunction at a former Colorado gold mine.
Teller County Sheriff Jason Mikesell says a trolley car that takes tourists 1,000 feet into the earth at the Molly Kesling gold mine suffered a mechanical issue, leaving one person dead and 4 others with injuries. Explaining officials were able to get the drivers on board at the time off, but 12 people are still at the bottom of the tunnel.
So they're actually safe on the ground inside the tunnel, and the atmospherics are good inside the tunnel. So I can tell you right now, they're drinking water. They have chairs. They have what they need.
I bought T-bone steaks for the grill tomorrow. I'll eat a ham sandwich tonight.
The Senate of the country can't afford another 4 years of Trump in the White House.
Oh, they cut that right off. What the fuck?
2 teens shot and injured in D.C. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. Police tell 7 News that a boy and a girl were found shot in D.C. this afternoon. The shooting reported on the 1200 block of North Capitol Street near Dunbar High School. Police say they were taken to a local hospital for treatment. In the face of the opioid epidemic, a controversial policy change from the Loudoun County School Board.
There's still a great concern here.
Member Dina Griffiths was a no vote on that motion to allow students with training to carry naloxone or Narcan. That can lead to fentanyl overdose. April Chandler was.
Come on over, Bunny Buns. Come on up on my panel, Bunny Buns. You want to fuck with me, Bunny Buns? Come on. You're not dealing with Wolfie and them. All right.
Yes, also help.
Yeah, this is a different animal right here. This ain't King Rob. All right.
Unnecessary.
I'm not running around fucking claiming to be a fucking Greek god. That's just all myth.
In granting such a permission.
It's impossible for anybody to know whether or not God actually exists. Besides that, heaven is earth. I think it's more of a miracle that we're born and we're alive now than that we die and go to heaven.
An issue that could cost Republican Larry Hogan some votes from Democrats.
That's to me more of a miracle.
The governor's man.
I read that.
Also, Brooks said, quote, the Republican Party
Long
has
time
declared a
ago.
war on women's reproductive freedoms. And
I'm dying of cancer,
says he's in
everybody.
favor
All
of
right,
restoring
we all
Roe
are.
v. Wade. When it comes to Israel, Hogan says he supports the country as one of our most important allies. Also, Brooks says she also supports Israel's right to defend itself. The outcome of Maryland's Senate race could determine whether Democrats or Republicans control the Senate. WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Alexandria, 395 southbound, jammed up from Etzel Road to the Beltway. On 95 in Virginia, southbound in Springfield, slow between the Beltway and Backlick Road. On the Beltway in Montgomery County, Interloop is stop and go between Rockville Pike and New Hampshire Avenue. Greenbelt Interloop is stop and go from the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit to Kenilworth Avenue. And on the outer loop of the Beltway in Lanham, accidents in the left shoulder between Annapolis Road and the VW Parkway. Traffic is slow from Landover Road. And now from GarageFloorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clear, low 42. Tomorrow, sunny, high near 68.
If you don't have health insurance, if you're unhappy with your health insurance, or your health insurance cost is too high, it's time to take action. Call 469-722-5328 now, because you and your family could qualify for no-cost health insurance coverage. That's right, no-cost coverage right here in Dallas and Fort Worth. Call 469-722-5328 to see if you qualify for low-cost or even no-cost health insurance coverage for you and your family from healthedley.com, a local DFW health insurance company paid for by Health Edley Insurance Services, an independent insurance agency.
This podcast is sponsored by Laurel Road. At Bigger Pockets, we're always trying to find ways to help you maximize your buying power, which is why you should check out Laurel Road. Laurel Road's banking and lending solutions include student loan refinancing, mortgages, personal loans, student loans, cashback credit cards, tailored savings accounts, and more. And right now, for a limited time, Laurel Road's high-yield savings account has an annual percentage yield greater than 4%. That is up to 10 times the national savings rates. Plus, it features 0 monthly service fees, no minimum balance requirement, and costs $0 to open. So visit laurelroad.com/pockets to learn more. Laurel Road, your partner on the road to financial peace of mind. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Robinhood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12
I gotta
days,
put
3
some
epic
clothes
offers,
away.
unlimited bonus amounts
I
starting October
fucking
16th.
throw them on the couch.
Or other brokerage accounts for Robinhood.
Not like I get real dirty. Might sweat sometimes. I go to the barn, I might smell like fucking the barn when I come home.
For more information, margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee.
Oh, there's Bud posting at me in Vegas chat. Guess I could fucking play Vegas chat without getting in trouble. Tiffany thinks I want to steal her content. You're just a spiteful woman, Tiffany. There's a reason why you never got asked out to the prom.
Governor DeSantis was on CNBC today. Here's a guy that's got his hands full, and he's doing a hell of a job. He's a really great general when it comes to these things, like a George Patton, if you will. And they asked him about this Kamala Harris and so forth. Cut 7, go.
Fact of the matter is, they put out a story saying I didn't even know she was trying to reach me, but she has no role in this process. And I've been dealing with these storms in Florida under both Trump and Biden. Neither of them ever politicized it. And in fact, all the storms I've dealt with under this administration, although I've worked well with the president, she has never called in Florida. She has never offered any support. So what she's doing is she's trying to inject herself into this because of her political campaign. So as the governor here who's leading this, I don't have time for those games. I don't care about her campaign. Obviously, I'm not a supporter of hers, but she has no role in this process. And so I'm working with the people I need to be working with. We're leveraging the resources I need to be leveraging. And for her to try to say that my focus should be on catering to her rather than worrying about my own people just shows she doesn't understand
my people
what it means to respond to these natural disasters.
You're governor of a state,
Also
you can say
today's
that.
Conference today, another genius question comes in. Cut 8, go.
Let's be able to know. It's been dark all day. What, you just going to know that you're going to do? I mean, like, give me a break on some of this stuff. That they're doing damage assessments now. They always say this or that or whatever. I mean, what I would say is what I said in the original.
Is that loud enough, Charlie? Are you still listening?
We had certain worst case scenarios in terms of.
I'm going to listen to talk radio.
A lot of places in
Too bad you don't like it.
They had negative storms.
I don't mean you, Charlie.
It sucked the water out of the. So in terms of all that, where you'd see the entire team.
I got the shock factor right here. I just seen my screen move.
It was most acute in Sarasota. And I think it was a little bit more than Sarasota got for Helene, but it wasn't like so much more. I think it was 8 to 10 feet. Helene, of course, got almost to 20 in Taylor County. And then I think the fact that the storm weakened, I think I'm not saying there's not going to be damage. There will be. It cut across the state in a way that Helene did not. But in terms of just right now, the morning after, if I think back to like Hurricane Ian, I don't think that you're looking at similar amount of damage to Ian. And then with Helene, there may end up being more overall damage. There may not. I don't know. But definitely the surge did not reach Helene levels.
And the media don't really give a damn about the people. I'm not talking about the media that's there in Florida, in North Carolina, in Georgia, in these other locations. I'm talking about the Washington, D.C. media, those types. They don't really give a damn. Here's Mary Bruce, ABC News, to Mayorkas, the Secretary of DHS. Listen to this one, because they use the word misinformation, of course. And that's like good little totalitarians. If you dare question them and the efficacy or efficiencies of the government, well, you're out of line, see. You're misinformation. You need to be punished. You need to be diminished. So Mary Bruce buys into all this. ABC News to Mayorkas today. Cut 4, go.
Do you have any information to suggest that any foreign governments have tried to take advantage and amplify this misinformation about the response and recovery efforts?
Now stop for a minute. Think about this. It wouldn't even enter your mind normally, right? Do you have any information to suggest any foreign government has tried to take advantage and amplify this misinformation about the response and recovery effort? The response to Hurricane Helene by the feds was disgusting. It was slow. Very little was prepositioned. They waited a week to call in the military. We know this from the volunteers who were there, Republican and Democrat. We know this from the charitable organizations that were there. We know this from the private pilots that were there. We know it from the people suffering that were there. They didn't see anybody from the federal government for days. It was neighbor helping neighbor. And red-blooded American citizens throughout North Carolina, and for that matter, around the country, saying, you know, I got to do something about this, including some of these vet organizations that took action to try and get Americans and our allies in Afghanistan out of that hellhole. We're supposed to lie about this, go along with the government propaganda? Now it's Donald Trump's fault. Now it's misinformation. So all those people in North Carolina have been lying. All those people in Georgia have been lying. All those people who are suffering, who've lost family members and friends, they're all lying. All the charitable groups, all the volunteers, they're lying. And all the media that was there, I saw the Fox media mostly, they said nobody's here either from the federal government. They're lying too. And here's Mary Bruce, ABC News in Washington, D.C. Are they going to take advantage of this misinformation? In other words, is Trump giving aid and comfort to our enemies? That's what she means to say. It's so sick. It's so damn sick. And what did he say? Go.
I have not been alerted to that phenomenon.
Boy, this guy's definitely the sharpest knife in the drawer, isn't he? Go ahead.
Foreign nations disseminate false information for other purposes. I have not seen it in the context of Hurricane.
And he goes on that he doesn't know anything about it because it's such a stupid question where they're trying. This ABC News phony reporter, this fraud and this phony, where they're trying to instigate, trying to provoke even more controversy. Now, of course, Biden, with an IQ of a grapefruit, he's all in because this is what he knows. This is what Harris knows. They know how to sharpen their teeth and sharpen their nails and to be vicious and vile, not competent. Look at the border. We can go on and on. Look at the economy with inflation. The dumbest duo ever. The most moronic duo ever. And so here's a reporter once again. Cut 1, go.
Have you spoken with former President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
He did get a life, and he is helping these people more than you are, you old clown.
What a fucking moron.
That's right.
I make you just want just
jerk.
fucking
You jerk.
just once.
All right. It's enough of that. I don't need to play any more of that. But I do want to tell you about this. October 7th, it's the 1-year mark of the worst massacre.
I can hit pretty hard from a short distance. From here to here,
since the Holocaust.
if I fucking put some force into that motherfucker, you're going to feel it.
More to really bring Christians and Jews together.
About you, Alvaro,
you
lazy bastard. Fucking non-high school graduate.
Ancestral sites. To help and give shelter and food and safety to those in need in Israel, especially since they're surrounded, especially since things are being withheld from the Jewish people in Israel and so forth. People don't realize the economic consequences of what's going on there. All their people have to be focused on what's taking place, the effort to destroy them. They have many soldiers who are injured. These are citizen soldiers. Their families need support. These are everyday Israeli citizens. They had to leave their families behind to fight the enemy. I want to encourage you folks, if you can, with Christmas and Hanukkah season coming, Thanksgiving coming even sooner, I want to encourage you to help. If you can help these folks, well, I think would be a real, what we call mitzvah. I want to encourage people who can to give whatever you can. Maybe a gift of $150. $150 today helps the International
This
Fellowship
shirt's
of
too big
Christians
for
and
me.
Jews provide food and other necessities to these families to help
Way
them
too big.
survive. And there is no better group than the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. They're just fantastic. And thanks to a generous
I look like
fellowship
a
supporter, if you give before October 20th, your gift will be matched to double.
Wiggin.
So really, and that gift is a tax.
You're going to give me a strike for giving you the middle finger? There's the great American bird right there.
That in my audience, Christians and Jews, anybody, are going to help. They will help, and they will stand with Israel. So if you can make a $150 gift, donation, or any amount that you can afford, it's tax deductible. Please call them now. 844-866-IFCJ. That stands for
Charlie,
International Fellowship of
what's
Christians
wrong with your friend Bunny Bun?
844-866-IFCJ. You can make your tax deductible.
Charlie, are you here?
That's 844-866-IFCJ.
Everybody's watching me talk to you, thinking I'm fucking stupid, Charlie.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of
Charlie,
news.
are you listening still? Why don't you go to Vegas chat and tell fucking Bunny Buns to get his ass over here, or her ass, or whatever the fuck it is. Tell him I want my Hassenpfeffer. Hey, Charlie, JC turned me in. They gave me a strike. They wouldn't let me fucking stream for a couple days. YouTube, I made them mad. Yo, YouTube, you fuckers. I better plug that phone in, I guess.
Some business topics from fundamentals of quantum physics in Quanta and Fields by Sean Carroll. A deep dive on
Seriously.
and token supremacy by Zachary Small. The economy and how markets work in this economy by Kayla Scanlon. To the ticking clock scenario in nuclear war by Annie Jacobson. There's something for everyone. Available everywhere. Audiobooks are sold.
Oh.
Shopify helps you sell at every stage of your business. Like that, let's put it online.
Is it this one?
Site is live.
Store and need a fast checkout stage. Thanks.
You guys crying that I have all these phones.
This one's going.
I almost bought 2 of them today. Just Android.
Stage. This is
50, 60, 70 bucks for one. Does what I need it to do. I'll edit avatars.
Blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly. You know that every time you tap, swipe, or insert your credit card, you can.
So I guess Charlie's not here, right?
It's true.
Jeez, how do I want? What should I do?
Credit card. Find them at COIG.
I got 2 people already begging for a wrench. Or was it? Bunny Bun said something about a wrench.
That's right.
But that person's too scared to come up here.
Unlike other leading credit cards, it can range from
Unlike JC, I have full control of my panel. That bullshit ain't gonna happen over here.
Coin credit card bans the conservative charities. Here, they donated more to several conservative charities, likely more than the top 10 credit cards.
Hey, Gotti, I'm gonna put a time limit on you, pal. Okay, y'all. You're walking the same plank that fucking Wiggins on. You realize that, right? This is my ship, and you guys are walking my plank.
Because Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America,
Fact.
and millions of Americans are
And Gotti,
media and tuning.
you've never been to sea,
They're following
and I can't be sure that you're actually a Vietnam vet, because anybody can fake that out here. It'd be easy to do that.
You can become an owner of
I'd like to know for sure. If I knew for sure,
at newsmaxinvest.com to see your eligibility.
you'd probably see the attitude you'd like to see.
Forbes says Newsmax.
The same with you, Wiggin.
Powerhouse. Join the news revolution. Get Newsmax shares. You can even buy shares with a credit card. Go to Newsmax.
I don't think there's many cases of a judge letting somebody join the military instead of sending them to jail for a crime they committed. It's against the law. A judge that's a very serious crime for a judge to commit. I know, because I was on recruiting duty.
Today.
Making sense of your world.
I listened to you all.
And I had to fill out paperwork, do police checks on people.
Making sense of the news.
Know the news the minute you wake up.
Fuckers think all I did was peel potatoes. Hey, JC, how many potatoes? No, I won't go there. I was gonna ask, how many potatoes can you shove up that big old fucking clam you got?
Yeah.
You fucking make a lot of chowder in that motherfucker, I bet.
Buddy, really good man, Senator Rick Scott with us. Senator Scott, how are you, sir?
I'm trying to keep everybody safe and alive in Florida. We had the Helene, and then we had Milton, and gosh, we had everything. We had storm surge, we had rain, we had wind, we had tornadoes. It threw everything at us.
They really did, because our home is in Martin County on the east side over there, and that's where a lot of these damn tornadoes came down, and 13 people dead so far. At least 5 of them from those tornadoes. This was a hell of a hit right behind Helene, and you were governor there too, and you were very good at handling these things too. What do you make of Kamala Harris's effort to involve herself, to draw attention to herself? It seems so cheap.
It doesn't make sense. First off, I sat next to her for 2 years on Homeland Security, so I actually know her a little bit. She's been vice president for 4 years and never called. So I can't imagine she's called
my God, hurts.
Before. Now Biden, he called me today about the hurricane. So
I think I pulled a muscle today.
But I don't know why Harris. She's not involved in this at all. And by the way, wasn't she like the person that was the border czar? And wasn't she like the last person standing in Afghanistan? So she's but right now our state's getting back to work. I've been talking to all of our sheriffs. I've been traveling the state. I was in Fort Myers area today, Naples today, and in Gorda. I'll be in a variety of places tomorrow. Everybody, our sheriffs, our police departments, our fire departments, they're working their tail off. But boy, those tornadoes, those were scary. Completely out of the blue, out of the path of the hurricane. It really was a scary time.
Terrible, terrible. And in the middle of all this, you're running for re-election, so that complicates things. And we do need to talk about it because the election's upon us in a little over 2 weeks. Tell me how that looks like.
So we're working hard every day. I think that, in 18 when I ran for the first time to the Senate, 3 weeks before that election, we had the hurricane up in Panama City. So it seems like just before my elections, we're going to have a hurricane. But I travel every day, I campaign every day, and we just try to get our message out every day. And I think the reason I've been able to win the 2 governor's races and the Senate race is that people know that I'm going to work hard to take care of them.
And how's this campaign going? Is it
that fucker burning too.
What I'm finding across the country is the Democrats have an enormous amount of money, and they are using that money to smear their opponents and to lie about themselves. I'm guessing your opponent's doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah. They have plenty of money. My opponent's a socialist. She is a clear socialist. She was in the House 1 term and lost because, she was in Miami, a socialist, and she was best friends with AOC and Tlaib and that whole crowd. And so what she doesn't get in Florida, in particular in Miami, we have a whole bunch of people that left socialism. But she is a complete socialist. So she's lying. She's lying about her record. She's lying about me. So every day I raise money. If anybody wants to help me, you can go to rickscott.com, because we are having to fight her lies each and every day.
Let's put that on our social sites, ladies and gentlemen. Anytime you go to my social sites, rickscott.com, was it? rickscott.com?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Let's help out the
so every day we're fighting, and we've won because we had a better message, and we just outworked our opponents, and we're gonna get the vote out. We're gonna work hard every day. We got a great campaign team. Just work.
What I've learned about you, Senator Scott, also is you didn't come to Washington to be part of the good old boys network, the McConnell network, the ruling class, the special interests. You took the lead to actually challenge McConnell. You're taking the lead to try and bring conservative fiscal policy to the United States Congress. You've joined with the likes of Ted Cruz and Mike Lee and some of the others as traditional constitutional conservative voices in the U.S. Senate. And so raised, Ted Cruz told me $400 million with the Senate Leadership PAC. Is he contributing any money to your campaign?
No, he's not gonna help me. I mean, they haven't spent a dime to help me. If you look at the history of what McConnell does with that money, he helps people that will vote the way he wants them to vote, and he knows Ted and I we're gonna vote to we're gonna follow the Constitution. Something pretty simple. I'm supposed to represent Florida. Ted Cruz is supposed to represent Texas, and we'll find things that based on states' rights that we agree on. But we're not gonna go represent just whatever Mitch McConnell wants. So I ran against him, and at the end of 22, wasn't successful. He's now stepping down. There's 3 of us running. The other 2 are good guys, John Cornyn and John Thune. But I'm running because we have got to start focusing on how do we balance the budget. We can balance the budget. You do it. I did as governor all 8 years. I walked in with a budget deficit, balanced the budget, said, this is what we're going to collect. This is what we're going to spend. We don't collect more than that. We're not going to spend more than that. It's pretty simple. We're not solving any of the national problems. I think since McConnell's been there, the debt's gone from 5 to 30. It's almost 36. It'll be $36 trillion in another few months.
And as you say, you've been a governor, an extremely successful governor in a very successful state. You bring that mindset, that executive mindset to Washington, and your head explodes, and you say, "What the hell's going on here? What are these people doing?"
I'm the luckiest guy around. I grew up in public housing, born to a single mom. I got to build businesses. I built the largest hospital company in the world, a bunch of manufacturing companies. And guess what? We succeeded because we had a goal and we worked our goal every day. We've got to do the same thing in the Senate. We need as Republicans to do what we said when we ran. Balance a budget, right? Secure the border. Watch how money's being spent. Don't over-regulate people. Give people power back to them. Give them freedom. Represent their country the way our founding fathers set it up. The Constitution does work. It's worked for centuries. And so we need to go back to that and quit trying to fight the Constitution.
When we come back, Senator, we'd like to hold you over the break. I want to know more about your opponent, what her view is on law and order, what her view is on securing the border, what her view is on bringing prices down through the market system by ending inflation and the massive debt and the spending. I want the people in Florida and all over the country to understand the significant contrast that exists. And your race is not an absolute shoo-in, is it, sir?
No, absolutely not.
So I want to talk about that too. People look at Florida, they say it's Republican. The fact is these people are spending a ton. This tightens up these races. So we'll be right back with Senator Rick Scott.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-898-6155 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-898-6155 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-898-6155 to see if your car qualifies. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155. Coverage varies by plans. New contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Robinhood's Hood Week is coming, so start the countdown now. 12 days, 3 epic offers, and unlimited bonus amounts starting October 16th when you transfer your IRAs, margin balances, or other brokerage accounts to Robinhood. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Head to Robinhood.com/HoodWeek now to learn more about Hood Week. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly. Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin.
Weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
Hey there, I'm Kix Brooks, and going home always means returning to my alma mater, Louisiana Tech University. With nationally recognized programs, including my favorite, the School of Music, Tech has been at the forefront of innovation for over 130 years. And students from Mississippi, Arkansas, and Texas automatically qualify for in-state tuition. You can find out more at latech.edu/Kix Brooks. Sponsored by American Country Countdown and me, Kix Brooks.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Cumulus Podcast Network presents Grilling JR with the voice of wrestling's Jim Ross. Join us every Thursday morning as Conrad Thompson, the godfather of wrestling, grills JR like you've never heard before, uncut and uncensored. Enjoy wherever you listen.
Making sense of Washington.
I'll be the one to speak the truth on this.
Mark Levin. Days 6 to 9 p.m.
We're living in crazy land.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
Making sense of your morning.
What's the big news?
O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor.
There's a lot going on here. Let's get right into it.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
News Talk 105.9.
WMAL.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world.
Thank you for everything you do for this country. We need more of you.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Making sense of the news.
They're on the right. Call in now. 877-381-3811.
We'll get to our friend Senator Rick Scott of Florida in a moment. By the way, I don't know what our people are doing, Mr. Producer, on radio, some on TV, talking about these polls. It looks like, Kamala's fading and so forth. Do they remember the red wave 2 years ago? How do you get people out to vote? By focusing on polls? Screw the polls. Screw the polls. You fight like you're behind. You fight like you're behind in politics. You fight like you're behind in the military. You don't get cocky. There's no reason to be cocky. You got to fight right up to the last vote. So I don't bring pollsters on. All the other guys do. I don't bring pollsters on to talk about where we are and where.
Yeah, JC, you're using my, like say, belly aching all the time. You're using it in your fucking chat tonight for your title.
And we know we got to have another.
Fuck you, JC, you dumb bitch.
So what is the point? Honestly, I don't get it. But it's very
The fuck you guys gonna do to me?
To be honest with you, all right.
Report me?
Every year when a new
Randy's in
released, the big carriers
Vegas bragging he reports me and shit.
Years and get a free iPhone. Don't fall for it, folks. When Pure Talk, founded by a veteran, an honest company, the David versus the Goliath.
836.
Pure Talk, you can get great savings on the new iPhone 16. And you can still get an affordable data plan that fits your needs.
Oh, I got a pain right there.
How do I know? Because I did it. Because I have the new iPhone 16 from Pure Talk. Bottom line, don't fall for these traps. Overpay for data that you're never going to use, you're never going to need. Listen to this. With Pure Talk, for just $25 a month, you get unlimited talk, text, 5 gigs of data, which is more than enough, more than you're ever going to need, plus mobile hotspot. So here's how you do it. You've heard me talk about it. Don't be afraid. Jump in. Dial pound 250, say the keyword Mark Levin. That's it. Pound 250, say keyword Mark Levin. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will make switching very easy. It's pingless. And there's no contract. There's no activation fee. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Check it out, folks. Dial pound 250, and you'll save an additional 50% of your
Charlie,
Pure Talk.
Randy wants to report me again.
Hey, folks. The fact that Senator Rick Scott
says I'm making terrorist threats.
Senator Scott, tell us about your opponent, where she stands on the border, where she stands on deficit spending, where she stands on social issues, and most of all, let the people know this is a close race. All these races are close.
Well, first of all, what you said about polls is absolutely right. I mean, the only poll that matters is election day. And the only way you win is you get people that support you out to vote. So in Florida, you can vote absentee ballot. You can already do that. We'll start early voting in the middle of October. You can do that, or you can wait and vote election day. The earlier you
Pretty
vote,
sure he said this is Senator Rick Abbott.
and it's the same thing with President Trump. In every state, vote as early as you can. In Florida, they'll tell you if your vote has been counted, so you know that your vote's counted. Now, my opponent, here's what she believes in. One, she believes in the appeasement of all the dictators. So starting with the Castro regime, she believes it's okay that the Castro regime has killed Americans. It's okay that they have a Chinese spy balloon. So she completely appeases them, Maduro, Ortega. Next, she believes that we ought to continue to give everything. We should give people a tax break if they're illegal, and then raise your taxes if you're legal. If you're here, an American citizen paying taxes, your taxes should go up. But if you're an illegal citizen, you should get a tax break. She believes in open border. Everything that comes out of Harris's mouth, she puppets. She is complete supporter of Kamala Harris. She's the best friend of AOC and Talib Omar. So if you look at all the things that
those names,
she's the opposite. She is a complete socialist. She's like Harris. They want to tell you exactly how to lead your life. Look,
that's right. We're going to be destroyed from within.
I will too. I want to go make my little mistakes. I don't need government dictating everything to me. I mean, what to eat, what I can drink, what I can wear, any of that stuff. Give me my freedom. I'll go figure it out on my own.
Now, you have a large Jewish population in Florida. Where does she stand on Israel?
Well, she doesn't. She doesn't support Israel, and she'll never go out and talk anything about anti-Semitism. So she's never called out Iran. She won't call out Iran for what they've done, right? she's trying to go get the pro-Hamas vote. I mean, it's crazy.
Randy is mad.
To support
Randy's
baby
mad.
beheaders. That's exactly what Hamas is. She never will call them. She will never call out anti-Semitism. And whether we like it or not, there is anti-Semitism going on in this country. And I didn't hear her talking about anything about what happened on October 7th. October 7th is a horrible reminder that people were just killed just because they were Jewish. Just because they were Jewish.
Ask me a dumb question. What is her name?
It's Debbie Merkel-Powell.
And she was in Congress for one term and then got defeated?
Yep, Carlos Jimenez beat her in Miami. But she's, she is playing the liberal card and thinking.
What did she do before?
I have no idea. I've never heard of anything she's done.
Nobody has.
She worked at a school. I think she worked at a school.
She's pretty well unknown. It's very weird that they have a candidate like that. But Schumer's paying a fortune in Florida to try and defeat you, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Schumer spent $65 million in the month of October,
that's good pop.
In 2018, right? They spent $60 million, $15 million a week to try to defeat him. The only reason I won is you did exactly what you said. We went hustled to get the people that supported what we believe in, right? The people that believed in the Constitution, accountability in government, they came out and voted. We had to get 4.3 million votes. And then, if you remember, they illegally tens of thousands of ballots after election night, right? Remember Mark Elias, who had never lost a recount?
Oh yeah, he's a real low.
I got going on here.
Yeah, he said, I don't care that Rick's got one. He got more votes. He got 57,000 more votes. We're going to win through the courts. We had 7,000 volunteers. Went through 3 recounts. We had 1,000 lawyers. We fought them in the courts all over the state of Florida, and we won only because we went and got our votes, and our volunteers busted their butt for I think it was 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. So ignore the pollsters. I don't so many times. This is a battle of votes. It's not a battle of pollsters. A lot of these hosts on TV and radio, they're filling time. I'm not filling time. I'm on a mission here. We got to get our country back. We got to protect what liberty we pass to our children.
Right. We win, they lose. I want my kids, your kids, our grandkids to live in freedom. That's what I want. I want them to have the same opportunity I had. They didn't grow up with any money, but I had opportunity. I want that for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're all for you, Senator. Go to rickscott.com. rickscott.com if you can help in Florida, which is my residence, my home. I split it in Virginia, but Florida is my home. And I would encourage people in Florida. I know the hurricanes are there, but those of you who've avoided them, get out and vote as soon as you can, and help your neighbors vote too. Honest to God. Rick Scott, we wish you all the best, my friend.
Thanks, Mark. We're going to win. We're just going to work hard.
You bet. I appreciate you very much. We may be standing on the precipice of a post-election economic meltdown. Any election can send shockwaves through our financial system, but this time the stakes couldn't be higher. I'm quite serious about this. Reckless spending, inflation, mounting debt, redistribution of wealth, massive tax increases and regulations. These are radical left policies. They set the stage for disaster. We could see a rapid increase in stagflation. You could see the various markets, stock market, commodity market, go south. And that'll all undermine our currency. Because inflation is a war on the value of your dollar. I've always believed in diversification. And I've always practiced what I preach. And for me, that means adding gold to what I have. It's been said to be a timeless safeguard against economic chaos. And in these uncertain times, it's more crucial than ever. When it comes to gold, I trust Advantage Gold. They're the one top gold company that I use. And they are a top company in America. I want you to give them a call. Check it out. 800-900-8000. You can get your free gold investment kit. 800-900-8000. to see how gold can help protect you from, well, from these problems that the government creates and that affect you directly. All you got to do is call, get the free gold investment kit. And when you do, you might even qualify for $1,000 in free silver. That's 800-900-8000. Don't wait, folks. 800-900-8000. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. Again, you can help Rick Scott at rickscott.com. And don't forget Melania Trump's book, Melania, Amazon.com. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Meetings is coming. So start the
Yeah. Do I look ill?
when you transfer your IRAs, margin balance.
I could turn this other light off.
Now, to learn more about it, investing is risky. Bonus offer subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/midweek for more information. Margin is not suitable.
Yeah, you can fucking barely see me.
See it's a subscription.
Fucking in the dark.
Services offered through
My
Robinhood.
bedroom light's on.
See a registered
I could light a candle.
Just
I got candles.
From O'Reilly Auto Parts today, and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
He's a former Secret Service agent, a former NYPD officer, and a New York Times bestseller.
Reporter Danny B is here to cold up the mess for them and show you what really happened.
Dan Bongino brings high energy and unique insights to the biggest issues of the day.
Jumped in the cold plunge, got ready to rock and roll.
He's not afraid to tackle the toughest subjects and debunks the rhetoric.
That's the best analysis of what happened I've heard yet, outside of this show.
The Dan Bongino Show. I'm not that much of an egomaniac. Wherever you listen.
Imagine the hospital experience. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
Clarity and context for a complex world.
Be far more thorough and specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9.
Making sense of the news.
Cumulus Podcast Network presents Grilling JR with the voice of wrestling's Jim Ross. Join us every Thursday morning as Conrad Thompson, the godfather of wrestling, grills JR like you've never heard before, uncut and uncensored. Enjoy wherever you listen. Why did I wait so long to see a retina specialist?
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no coverage at all. These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of the biggest expenses can be your car, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan. You could save thousands with one call to CarShield. Call 800-898-6155 now to see if you qualify. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Repairs for your engine, transmission, and more can become a thing of the past. Plus, call 800-898-6155 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options. Call 800-898-6155 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Just call 800-898-6155 to see if your car qualifies. 800-898-6155. That's 800-898-6155. Again, 800-898-6155.
Making sense of your world.
And you got to get analysis on stuff.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I wanted to say how much I appreciate that.
Making sense of the news.
WMAL, making sense of the vote, because elections have consequences. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Begins Yom Kippur, the holiest of the holy holidays, Day of Atonement for people of the Jewish faith. And you're supposed to fast. And so,
not me. I got T-bone steaks to throw on the grill tomorrow outside. Charbroil them motherfuckers.
wish you an easy fast, the Day of Atonement on Yom Kippur. And I want you to listen to this. This is from.
I fasted yesterday.
Let's see if I can find it. He's at the Economic Club today in Detroit, and he's proposed, in addition to no taxes on tips. Let me tell you something. Kamala Harris won't follow through on this stuff. She doesn't believe it. No taxes on Social Security. She says, I want to do that too. Again, why didn't she? Why didn't she and Joe Biden do it? Because
I'm listening to the news. It's almost over with.
Announced today, you should be able to deduct the interest on a vehicle, a truck or a car.
Holy fuck, how'd you find me?
Purchase, which is the way it was prior to 1981. Deduct interest on credit cards too.
You guys are giving me indigestion.
For that, Reagan had these massive tax cuts. The problem is I
think I pulled a muscle.
Taxes, all kinds of taxes. They've increased the cost of living. So you need to look at this stuff anew. And that's what Trump's doing. And notice everything he's doing is not for billionaires. It's for average people. No tax on tips. No tax on Social Security.
There you are.
No tax on.
You work as a waitress or a waiter, maitre d' or anything like that.
No, that's what they do.
Part of your income is from tips, gratuities.
But he's very upset, and I agree with him.
Fucking make you pay tax on that. I fucking hate that shit.
Kamala Harris's comments changed them.
I worked in that kind of
the comments
line of work
earlier in the interview. I have never seen anything like this in my life, and they did it to try and help her because they have a lot of eyes on 60 Minutes. It's still a top 10.
All I can think of is the TV show Alice.
The other big
Mel's Diner.
The fraud committed by 60 Minutes and CBS, together with the Democrat Party, working together with them, which will go down as the single biggest scandal in broadcast history, I predict. It's a big story. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Happened. They learned about it yesterday evening. The real answer of Kamala was very crazy or dumb. Nobody knows what, but it was bad. So they actually replaced it. Think of this. They've never done that for me. They actually replaced it with another answer, having nothing to do with what she said before. They took another thing that she said and they just lopped it in there. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. 60 Minutes, nobody's ever seen. And they wanted to make her look as good as possible, make her look better. A big problem in our country is the fake news. We have such fake news.
Yeah, 100% right. It's so awful. For instance, they talk about this big gap, women's gap, that Trump is behind, 16 or 20 points with women, particularly in the suburbs. And when I mention that, some women contact me. I live in the suburbs. I'm for Trump. I'm not talking about you, obviously. I'm talking about your neighbor.
I don't think I've lost weight.
It's really bizarre, the way they play women. The way they play women, particularly women who've gone to college, particularly women in the suburbs, the way they
I was at the doctor's the other day.
They just wave abortion.
I am down to 198 pounds. I weighed 198 pounds. I couldn't believe it.
She's helped destroy sports under Title IX.
Must be doing push-ups.
Was an educational amendment.
Walking.
1972.
Do a lot of walking.
Civil Rights Act of 1964. Why? To ensure that women have equal access in schools.
I miss riding a bicycle.
To funds to help them if they want to get involved in sports and athletics. And so they've destroyed that.
They changed Title IX without passing a statute, which is unconstitutional, to do what? To allow biological boys and men to participate in girls' and women's sports.
Sickening.
So they basically destroyed this Civil Rights Act, this amendment to it, that was intended to promote women in sports, women athletics. So these women are now, they're not able to get scholarships. They're not able to compete fairly. They're not able to get the trophies and so forth that they work for. Kamala Harris did that. Oh, but I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she's for abortion. And so, once again, let me educate people. The decision is made in the states. There's not a single state that has outlawed abortion altogether, not one. And if you need abortion for medical purposes, and even for some other exceptions, virtually every state allows that. And the examples that Kamala Harris uses, like this poor woman who died from Georgia, has absolutely nothing to do with the Dobbs decision or access to abortion. She took an abortion pill, and there were complications from that. And the doctors who provided her with the medical care and so forth, they couldn't save her, or they failed to save her. But it had nothing to do with abortion per se, the right to abortion, or the Dobbs decision. These people lie. And I would ask these women in the suburbs, if your daughter is 14 years old and she's pregnant and she goes to Planned Parenthood and she wants to get an abortion, the position of the Democrat Party is, Mom, that you don't need to know, and in fact, you shouldn't know. It's none of your business. Do you agree with that? Well, 85% of the American people do not. Even people who believe...
Melissa Harris Perry. Ugh.
And yes, despite the lies, despite how outrageous it seems, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz believe in abortion on demand right up to birth, right up to the second of birth, when the baby's in the birth canal. Now, if that's not infanticide, I don't know what the hell is. Under Roe, it had a trimester system that a state could regulate the last 3 months. The Democrats don't want to do that. They want to go much further than Roe. They lie. They say, oh, we want to codify Roe. No, they want to codify something that's not done in another country on the face of the earth. On the face of the earth. And when they say Donald Trump's not right, that's a lie. When he says that you have Democrats in some states who believe that even when a botched abortion, if the baby is born healthy and is born, that you don't have to have medical doctors care for it, and it can die on the table. I want you ladies in the suburbs to look that up on the internet. I want you to Google it. Tim Walz. And look at the law he signed. He signed a law with language that actually repeals the requirement that doctors care for those babies if they're born under any circumstances because they're human beings. He signed a law that repealed that. And Kamala Harris agreed with him and chose him to run with her. They are liars. Infanticide, abortion on demand. They don't support Roe. They support nothing any other country on the face of the earth has even contemplated. We salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, our truckers. We support the men and women in Ukraine, our brothers and sisters in Israel, and most of all, you red-blooded Americans. I'll be back Monday. I want you to check out Life, Liberty, and Levin Saturday and Sunday. Set your DVR. God bless.
Making sense of your world.
Take me down to the very last city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Well, the word's out there. Randy's bragging he got me taken down. You ain't done shit, Randy. Yeah, you haven't done anything. So I'm going to end this stream and I'll come back later. I haven't had dinner. I'm going to go make me something to eat.